Hey guys, welcome back to 366 Days of Hope. And today is day 6, and our topic is it's okay to be disagreeable. Sometimes we tend to have such nervous and mental breakdowns in our society because we don't like confrontation and we also don't like being disagreeable. Being disagreeable tends to connotate someone who is very quarrelsome or selfish or maybe callous, and someone who's agreeable is putting others before yourself, and someone who's pretty much a doormat. But I wanted to encourage you that when we look at this from a biblical standpoint, there are specific times in which it's okay for us to be disagreeable. Now, before I go to that point, I want to explain why being disagreeable to man versus disagreeable to God is very different. Being agreeable to God is so much better because He has our best interest at heart. He never desires any ill will towards us, and whatever storms we experience are, in essence, a shaping of our character, a growing of who we are as a person, and shaping us in all the different ways that He knows best how to do. And so we know that God does not have any ill will towards us. But then when you look at being agreeable to man, man has sin. So not everyone has our best interests at heart. And we can look at many companies today who basically use and abuse their employees. And so that's an example. So there are great examples in Scripture that encourage us to be disagreeable and standing on principles that we need to stand by. So like an example would be like Daniel, when he was told he wasn't allowed to pray, and he still prayed. He had his windows wide open and he prayed regardless of what the laws were placed. And he committed to his relationship with God. And then you had the Hebrew boys when they stood in front of Nebuchadnezzar and they were told, hey, you need to bow. Well, they could have faked it. They could have pretended they were tying their shoes to accommodate everybody else and kind of look like they were, bowing in worship, but they stood firm. They stood out amongst everybody else and refused to be agreeable. And in their disagreeable nature, they were thrown into the fiery furnace and escaped and was able to be a living testament to Nebuchadnezzar, who then was saved. Jesus was an example of someone who was disagreeable, especially to the Pharisees. They didn't like that he taught mercy, compassion, instead of man-made laws that they were in place and very legalistic in their conduct. And he wasn't harsh. I think for many of us Christians, we think that we have to be a doormat. And it gives us a lot of anxiety because many of us maybe don't like confrontation. And sometimes our faith gets in the way, causing confliction within us of saying, okay, well, I need to pacify this person. No, I think there's a point where you have to speak your truth, but obviously do it tactfully. And I think that's an important thing, is like being tactful, but being disagreeable, it does not mean that you're less of a Christian. And so I hope that these examples encourage you to stand firm on your principles and to remember it's okay to say no. It's okay to disappoint some people in your life. That doesn't make you less of a Christian. It definitely doesn't make you less of a human being just because you disagree with someone. I think that we need to come to an understanding that sometimes certain things will not coincide with the lifestyle that we're living in, and that's okay. When I ended up changing my lifestyle, a lot of my friends felt that I was becoming extreme, and especially when I decided to go vegan, and it just seemed too wild, too crazy. But this was when veganism wasn't really a popular thing, and going plant-based was not as prominent as it is now. And so I would say that was when I was the most disagreeable, but yet I stood firm on it and still respected everybody. And I think that you can do that. So hope that encourages you to go through your day, and if you're making difficult choices, pray about it and gain wisdom. And may you live, thrive, and be healthy. Take care, guys. Bye.